Greetings to you. President Emerson Mnangagwa and his regime are feeling the heat as more and more voices have condemned last month's police and army brutality and barbarism against the rioters and innocent Zimbabweans. The regime is scrambling to defend the indefensible. Those acts of banditry and hooliganism will not be tolerated, and the government is going to use all in its power to make sure that it does not happen again. We are a peace-loving country, and we should not allow ourselves to be used for selfish agendas, said Vice President Mohadi. All these international and private medias are not talking about the destruction caused by those hooligans, the massive looting, the burning of vehicles and government infrastructure like toll gates, overrunning of police stations, and the eventual death of one of the police officers on duty. But they just want to concentrate on that the security forces were heavy-handed in dealing with the protesters. That is not right. Of course, the security forces were heavy-handed and for selfish political gain. Zanu PF used the riots as cover to silence its political opponents and beat the nation into submission. Vice President Mohadi, the nation is pleased to hear you condemn acts of banditry and hooliganism. But are you, sir, being upfront and honest with the people, or are you taking them for fools? Whilst no one would dispute the need for the police and the army to act to stop rioting and looting, still the brutality and barbarism of the security personnel was more than was required to quell the rioting and looting. Zanu PF has a reputation of using minor incidents to settle selfish political scores. In the 1980s, Zanu PF used the proverbial sledgehammer to kill the fly in the Gukurahundi massacre. There were a few hundred dissidents at most, and yet the state security personnel ended up killing over 20,000 innocent civilians. There's no doubt that Zanu PF was not after just ending the banditry and hooliganism then, but after destroying its main political opponent then, PF SAPO, to clear the way for the imposition of the de facto one-party dictatorship we have to this day. It is never too late to carry out a thorough investigation into what really happened during Gukurahundi moments of madness, as Robert Mugabe once admitted. These moments of madness have happened again and again. Each time Zanu PF has failed its iron grip on power threatened, the sledgehammer has come out. The nation made a serious mistake in allowing Zanu PF to sweep the Gukurahundi and all the other moments of madness that followed under the carpet. The regime has thus far believed it can do as it pleases and will get away with it. A dangerous precedent. We must now put this right. We must carry out a thorough investigation into the barbarism and shooting dead of civilians by security forces in the 15th to the 25th of January 2019. The shooting dead of civilians on 1st August 2018, the Gukurahundi massacre, etc., etc. The investigations must establish who issued the shoot to kill orders and what was their motive. This is high treason, and those responsible must be held to account. One police officer was killed during the rioting in January 2019, and it was one too many. Still, this did not justify the security services shooting dead 12 civilians, beating and raping hundreds of thousands, and the arresting of over 1,000 civilians. It is the police and the soldiers who were behaving like bandits and hooligans, and we must find out who gave them the order to run riot and why. The January stay away was triggered by the country's worsening economic meltdown. Zanu PF rigged last July's elections, but has clearly failed to rig economic recovery. So the country is set to sink deeper and deeper into the economic turmoil. It is just a matter of time before the people are compelled to once again protest the economic hardships. It is totally unacceptable that Zanu PF should be allowed to beat, rape, arrest, and even shoot dead people just to silence them. People must be allowed to voice their concerns and not be forced to suffer and die in silence like sheep in a slaughterhouse. Thank you for listening.